Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Clayton Montez. I'm the chairman for the Walworth County unit. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. We have some representatives, Senator joining us, and some representatives from Wisconsin Towns Association here tonight, and especially our honored guest, Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch. Just briefly, Rebecca Kleefisch is our Wisconsin's 44th Lieutenant Governor, and she spearheads the Governor's Small Business Summit and serves as the Economic Development Liaison and advocates for small business owners. She's here tonight to talk about job creations by the Wisconsin administration and where they're moving for here. So, without further ado, Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch.
Thank you. I was so busy talking, networking. It's what we do these days. But anytime someone offers up a microphone, it's very tough for a former TV news person to refuse it. So thank you very much. Well, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight from Kenosha, Walworth, and Racine counties. I was just sharing that my in-laws had a camper just a couple miles from here, Abel's Corners, so I am very familiar with this area. During summertime, it kind of felt like a second home, so it's good to be second home, I guess. I want you to know that Governor Walker and I understand the challenges in creating economic opportunity and revitalizing all of our communities in the great state of Wisconsin. Governor Walker and I were not elected to govern two separate Wisconsins. You don't have to live amongst skyscrapers in order to appreciate economic development. I know because I live in a town. And our state's jobs situation motivates me to work harder every single day. Despite the fact that our unemployment rate today stands at its lowest since 2008, we don't settle. Wisconsin is a state of winners, and that means that we as a state need to beat this recession. How do we do it? Well, we start with a foundation of a sustainable future. Some would tell you that this lies only in growing airports and roads and bridges, fancy hotels, a cosmopolitan atmosphere. It doesn't. Those things are important for some investors. They are important for some entrepreneurs. But the cornerstone of commerce is not in a big city. Frankly, it's not even in a town. It's in a budget ledger, and it is fiscal responsibility. Less cool words probably could not be spoken, but if we don't start with a solid building block, all of our best efforts, my cold calls to businesses down in Illinois, or changes to make our Commerce Department a faster, smarter, more nimble Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, the tax credits, the tort reform, will not succeed unless we're on firm financial footing. That's why the governor worked so diligently to fix that $3.6 billion budget deficit without raising taxes. And even while our federal government was having their credit rating downgraded by S&P, Moody's was rating our budget, Wisconsin's budget, credit positive. All you need to do is look no further than our neighbor to the south to see a credit rating implosion. It's not just that Illinois raised income taxes 46% and 67%. It's not just that they have a prescription drug tax, or a 9.75% sales tax, or an Amazon tax, or an estate tax. It's not just that they have a bad football team. You can clap for that. Did someone say, oh? It's that when it comes to making hard decisions, Illinois punts. And that's not just a bad football team joke. Standard & Poor's has given them the lowest credit rating in the nation. Moody's puts them worst in the country. Impressive, because California is pretty bad. It happens because in Illinois they are too scared to address their cost drivers. Pensions, health care, overdue bills. The same things that you and municipalities and we and the state must address every day. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn actually said he was encouraged, that's quote, encouraged that only one credit rating agency dropped him to the very bottom of the bucket. That's like saying that your kid may be failing all of his classes, but you're encouraged that he only got kicked out of one. We're taking a different tact, as you know, a common sense budget that takes on the challenges of the future and yet allows us to remedy the concerns of today. We know that you need a great infrastructure here in Wisconsin. And so you can rest assured that we are doing everything in our power to safeguard essential dollars for our roads and for our bridges and for our infrastructure projects. The governor's budget restores the integrity of the transportation fund with the transfer of general fund revenue to the transportation fund every year, with a big first transfer of $125 million to begin to make whole the fact that the previous administration had raided that fund, raided $1.2 billion. Governor Scott Walker also made the provisions to transfer millions every single year from the Petroleum Inspection Fund to the Transportation Fund. We have begun the process in this state of delivering fiscally responsible budgets without raising taxes and without raiding funds. We know, as you do, that investors and job creators are not going to grow. They're not going to take their dollars out of the banks and put them into their workforces unless they feel some certainty, some stability. This budget gives them both. And that is proof that we are dedicated to creating good jobs in every Wisconsin community. I've been spearheading our administration's efforts to spur job creation among our small business owners, leading roundtable discussions all over our state, putting on the governor's Small Business Summit. And the governor asked me to chair the subcabinet on workforce investment that developed our wonderful Wisconsin Working Plan that will help connect our unemployed with good jobs, our veterans with good opportunities to use their skills, and our kids with chances to know the jobs of Wisconsin's future. Rural Wisconsin is certainly not immune to the challenges of the world economy. With families all over recovering from the effects of a global downturn, it is more important than ever that we govern responsibly, rein in spending, and unite on passing budget reforms while not placing undue burdens on taxpayers that are suffering from the recession. We must take every step necessary to turn this economy around in Kenosha, Walworth, and Racine counties, all the counties across the great state of Wisconsin, because all of the economies have been hit hard by this downturn. We need to take fiscal responsibility to all levels of government in order to get our Wisconsin economy right back on track. The stakes are high as we compete with every other state in the nation, balancing our cost drivers while striving to promote a business climate where companies will want to invest and want to grow jobs right here in our Wisconsin. My job has one primary objective: to attract more good-paying jobs to our great state, so both rural and urban communities can not just survive, but can thrive, fostering an environment where families can stay in Wisconsin, raise their children in Wisconsin, and watch their grandchildren grow up in our great Wisconsin. And I have an open door. I look forward to hearing your ideas with candor about how we can improve. We've said from the very beginning that Wisconsin is open for business. That means our doors are open to good ideas all the time. We need to know your thoughts on how we best turn our state around. We know that having a highly skilled workforce is essential to having a strong, vibrant state economy. Education, having the right programs in place in order to promote a culture of lifelong learning matters more than ever, so that we can guarantee that employers will find the employees that they need right here in our state. That's why our new College and Workforce Readiness Council will prove key in anticipating and fixing our challenges of the future. And we will have challenges, just like we will have more jobs. And despite our economy, we know that 94% of job creators in the state of Wisconsin now believe that we are going in the right direction. Wisconsin will succeed. We will succeed because we will begin pulling in the same direction in order to move our state forward. Because we know that we must assure that jobs are job one. We know that you, every single day, have to balance much needed economic development with public health and safety concerns. We will make progress on jobs this legislative session. The mining bill, the wetlands bill, the Wisconsin Winds bill, hopefully will all get the bipartisan attention that they need. But let me make one observation on that. That one word, bipartisan. We need to remember in this state what it's like to be neighbors. You all understand that, being from smaller communities where we still go next door and borrow a cup of sugar. You understand what it's like to be neighbors. But when it comes to advancing good things under the Capitol dome, we need to take a cue from our neighbors at home. Set political stripes aside and do what's right for the good of our great state. Because there are no Republican jobs, just like there are no Democrat jobs. In our Wisconsin, there are only Wisconsin jobs. We have been through a lot as a state. Let that strengthen us. A couple of months ago, I was in Neenah, Wisconsin, where some farmers were getting the honor of a lifetime. You see, scouts travel this entire nation all year long, looking for the most beautiful and the strongest tree to be the White House Christmas tree. And see, this year they found the strongest and most beautiful in Wisconsin. And as they were cutting down the tree, the farmer told me that that tree had been through a drought, flooding rains, punishing winds, even a tornado. And yet, it was the most beautiful and the strongest in the whole country. That is like my Wisconsin. Strong, wonderful, resilient. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Thank you for caring about where you live and making our state a better place. God bless you.